On today's video, let's talk about the patch notes that dropped yesterday for update 32 Ian's Bollards. In this video, we're going to go over all the update and everything you need to know about it, as well as a little bit of in-depth understanding of a few things that they fixed and added into this game. I have a lot of criticism about this update, and you guys probably want to hear it to understand how I think about these things, and it'll probably change your mind about a few of the things in this update. It is an interesting one to say the least, and spoiler alert, it fixes per se one of the issues, the bigger issues in KVK, but I really don't think it is an actual fix, and you'll know why in this video. So sit back, drop a like on the video. Now let's go. Hey there YouTube, welcome back to Gekko Gaming. Today, let's talk about patch notes of update 32. Usually when patch notes come out, we do like this one-take video without music, without anything, just to quickly get you the information out there. But this time around, I read it and I was like, all right, I gotta sit down and make a proper video because I'm a little bit ticked off, and I'll explain why throughout the video. For now, I'm a sponsored content creator by Rise of Kingdoms. If you enjoy the content, slap a like on it. And did you know that 56.4% of you are not subscribed to the channel? We're getting that number down. We got to keep going with the subscriptions. Hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell so you get a notification. Saturday, we'll be doing Osiris League betting, and on Sunday, we'll be casting every single one of the Osiris League time slots. So you want to be subscribed to the channel to know when that is going on. Let's read through the updates real quick and then talk about opinions among other things, because there are a couple of things you really need to know about this update. Update 32, Ian's Bollards. We'll plan on updating again version 32, Ian's Bollard on the 7th of April. Before the update, you can download the data in advance via the event to earn nice rewards. We apologize for the inconvenience it might cause, and we'll send you compensation rewards once the update is completed. No time on how long the update will take. Just fairly a new thing. They usually take 3 hours, but then they take another server maintenance. So I guess this time they realized we shouldn't commit to 3 hours. Makes sense. New event, Ian's Bollards, will gradually open up to all kingdoms within 1 week after the update. If you take a peek at the image, this is looking kind of cool. There is, I believe that's Frida, if I'm not mistaken. That's one of the commanders, one of the big girls that we fight in Soroli Crisis. And she brings on board brand new epic equipment, which is very neat, as well as epic material choices. That's always good. And interesting stuff coming out in here. Very, very cool. If we read through it, Bollards of Ian the Bard have spread to all corners of the world. These are tales of epic battles that were long lost in history. Ian's Bollards is a multiplayer battle event. Team up with fellow mates, experience epic battles that were long forgotten in history. Defeat various powerful chieftains and earn piles of precious rewards. Now, first of all, piles of precious rewards. We've seen what happened last time. We got tons of new loot for barbarian keeps and forts. But I'm not gonna hold my breath for that one. It seems like another type of Soroli Crisis event, something of the sort. Except that this one looks like it's going to last a few days, just like Soroli Crisis. Maybe it's going to be what we'll see on the off week. So as of right now, Soroli Crisis happens every other week. So maybe on the week of Soroli, there's Soroli. On the week that there isn't Soroli, there will be this. It'd be kind of neat if they had a continuous schedule of PvE events going on consistently, so you always have something to do. This is kind of cool. I dig it. New event. Peerless Scholar will gradually open to all kingdoms within 2 weeks after the update. We got a brand new building. The Lyceum of Wisdom is heaven, I guess, with the most advanced knowledge of its time. Travelers across the land can gather here to exchange privileged information. The most prestigious and influential figures come to share their wisdom in hopes of advancing civilization and advancing mankind as a whole. Peerless Scholar, a massive trivia quiz system coming soon. Sheathe your weapons and take a well-deserved rest from battle. Use your smarts and wisdom to earn great honor and mountains of rewards. Governors can now build a new structure inside their city. Pretty cool, at least we get a new structure. Every month, the Lyceum of Wisdom, a trivia quiz contest, will open up to all governors and last for 1 month. Governors who pass will able to receive tons of rewards, and governors that make it to the very end will receive their hard-earned share from a massive pool of gems. Interesting. So is this massive pool of gems something we all pay to get into? Is this like a trivia thing where you pay a couple of 100 gems or 500 gems or something to get in, and then there's a pool of gems and whoever wins the most gets a percentage of the pool? I'm interested to know what is a massive pool of gems. If you tell me it costs 100 gems or even 200 gems to get in every month on this, and whoever wins the trivia thing wins a pile of that, and it divides up into like tiers of folks, that'd be kind of dope when everybody gets a little bit of their gems into the pile and hopefully wins a big piece or something like that. I dig this event. I don't know really what they're talking about when it comes to you know, a well-deserved rest from battle. It was like 2 days of battle. But anyway, let's move on. Other optimizations. The area of cities has been expanded. Governors can now show off even more of their decorative structures. I love this because honestly, I picked up 3 decorative items in the last week. We got Lucerne Scroll, we got the Soroli one, and we got the Spring Event one, and I realized I'm running out of space. I love the fact that they're growing the city and you can design it even more and they're giving you that part of it. I like this a lot. Added a new Healing Kingdom buff. The king can choose to activate via kingdom buff. I love this too. Healing is super expensive. It's one of the most expensive things in the game. And if you can coordinate it well enough to let your kingdom know at these times we'll be doing kingdom heals during KVK, it'll be really, really, really useful for everybody to be part of this. And while passing on having the correct runes and all that, really drop down the levels of healing. I'm not going to get too excited about it just yet because we haven't seen percentages or anything like that, but this is a step in the right direction. A quick forge feature to the blacksmith. Governors should be able to forge equipment faster. I'm a little confused as to what quick forge would be. Would it be a speed up thing where you can speed up the material creation? Is that a thing? Is that what should be able to forge equipment faster by allowing you to use speed ups to speed up the material time spent, whatever not? I don't understand what quick forge means. I'm just hoping that it means this is how you can now use universal speed ups to get materials. That is right. The most likely outcome of this is universal speed ups will be used to speed up material creation, which will then allow you to create equipment faster. I don't know how much of a big fan of that I am. On the one hand, I dig the fact that I now can speed up a little bit of things and get my equipment faster out there. On the other hand, it's once more a big hit to the free-to-play community and a huge improvement and a huge boost to the big boys, because now there's nothing stopping them from spending crazy amounts of speed ups that they do have in the bucket loads to get a ton of equipment and really get ahead of the game. You can now specify which single governor to block from your mail via the mailbox. Okay, nice. I guess people are getting harassed. Makes sense. Change the way Shadow Legion calculates results. Now, as soon as the Alliance event ends, the results are calculated. Immediately, rewards are sent out. However, during each event, each governor can only receive rewards one time. Thank the Lord. One time, I missed out on the event altogether because I was in a different alliance doing something else. We were doing we one time pushed our Shadow Legion all the way to the end of Osiris League matches a couple of weeks ago, the last one that happened, to make sure everybody can get back into the alliance before this thing happened. So I like that you get it done, you get your results, and you don't need to stay in the alliance for like 2-3 days. You can leave the alliance to go do things. I think it was during KVK one time that a bunch of people left JWM to go fight in another alliance, and we all got wrecked in the event. So I love this. 10 out of 10 on this. A brand new panel for binding accounts. Okay. Now when governors immigrate, the game will determine in advance if they satisfy all the requirements to immigrate to target kingdom. I really don't get what that means. Does this mean that when you click immigrate, it'll tell you whether or not you meet the requirements or not? Or it will not open up that page anymore to tell you what the requirements are? So today, if you immigrate, you click on immigrate, it'll open this page where it tells you how much it costs you, what are the requirements, and when you click immigrate, it will either tell you, congrats, you immigrated, and take you there, or it'll tell you you cannot immigrate due to issue number 3. So does this mean that now the immigrate button will not be available if you don't meet the criteria, and it'll also tell you why? Or does this mean what exactly? I figured they're gonna just block the button if you don't meet the criteria, and they'll tell you why the button is blocked. And if not, click and you're gone. Now, special immigration applications will expire if they are not processed within 3 days. I guess people spam the heck out of other kingdoms' special immigration applications inbox. And so it was when you were looking for the one dude you're actually trying to get in, or dudette, there was tons of immigration applications and it was kind of scary. Maybe that's a thing. I'm okay with it. It just cleans up the place. Not bad at all. Commanders that have not reached their usage requirement, a kingdom reaching number of days open, will not be available now to use in Sunset Canyon and Lost Canyon. Thank the Lord. It makes absolutely no sense if there is usage requirement, but some events allow you to use it and some events don't. If there's usage requirement, it should be across the board. Ark of Osiris, Sunset Canyon, Lost Canyon, KVK, Kingdom Wars, everything. If there's a time requirement, it should be for everything. It's a real shame that it took them all this time to finally realize maybe I should take it out of Sunset and Lost Canyon too. By the way, I'm fairly confident you can still use them in Ark of Osiris, which is not very good. During matchmaking for Ark of Osiris, newer kingdoms will not be matched against kingdoms with a relatively older history. This kind of maybe will fix that, the ability of you meeting someone that has a kingdom that has Attila Takeda and you don't have them available because you never got there. I like this very much. They're starting to segregate kingdoms, which is unfortunate, but it's what has to happen. This game is timeline based. So the age of a kingdom, and as long as you've been playing the game, matters in what kind of access you have into the game. And so when immigration started being a thing, they really dropped the ball in the sense that older accounts going to younger kingdoms were destroying them because they had more availability of commanders. It's actually even worse than that, because a commander being available usually is available when the first mightiest governor of that commander hits, for example. But if I migrated with a Constantine that is fully maxed out, and then I get to a mightiest governor where the kingdom that I'm going up against only had one mightiest governor to figure out their Constantine and haven't had yet the opportunity to try to max them out, it's still a big struggle. So I'm liking that they're slowly figuring out how to create tiers within the kingdoms, and that essentially older people coming into younger kingdoms unfortunately get blocked. There is a consequence to that, which is the more you play the game and the more you migrate, essentially all the investment you made into commanders way back then will now not be available to you, it's the downside of all this. It really is the downside of all this, unfortunately. But it has to happen. That's part of the game. When the veterancy of your account and the relatively older history of your kingdom takes effect on how much power and strength and abilities you have and access to commanders you have to figure out how to make it fair for those who are relatively new, or else the game doesn't grow because newer players get destroyed by older ones consistently. Adjusted mechanics on pass. Governors can no longer teleport city within a certain radius of a pass. I'm going to skip my thoughts on this because that's where I'm going to spend the rest of this video. I want to finish up first. To further ensure balance, now advanced and powerful commanders may only be used in kingdoms that have been open for long periods of time. This also ties into the fact that, hey, you kind of have to give the newer kingdoms the opportunity to get these commanders first before older players get in there and annihilate kingdoms. I want to talk about point 11 because that's the one that's really triggering me. So if you don't know why this is, during Lost Kingdom, what individual folks have found out as a very easy way to lock down kingdoms is during a pass siege, when a pass is essentially occupied by the other alliance, what folks do is they build flags that go all the way to the edge of the territory of the pass. From there, they teleport farms or small cities into the edge of the area that is the entrance of the pass, and then they cut off the flag that was there. They essentially get it out. And so what you have left there is an area without flags, but it also is full of cities that block all the capabilities of dropping a flag in there. So essentially you're locked into your pass, because at this point you can't build a flag to get out because you're surrounded by cities. That's how you lock a kingdom in for good. So a counter argument to this and a counter measure to this is that folks have been starting to make accounts in their opposition's kingdoms, waiting for the kingdoms to get their flags into the correct positions and then teleporting their own farms into places so that they can then remove those farms later on and drop a flag to be able to get out. But this caused a really big problem because you got to keep an eye on when those flags of your opposition make it to your pass and really quickly make the move. And you also have to be City Hall 16 plus to get into Lost Kingdom. So it really created a situation where folks are creating kingdom accounts to City Hall 16 just so they can block the blockade of the pass to allow themselves to get out. Now, my problem with this is that the issue is not the area of the pass, the radius of the pass. Governors can no longer teleport a city within a radius of a pass. All you did there is nowadays the radius is this big. It takes 10 accounts to lock it up. You're going to make it after this update this big, and now it'll take 40 accounts to lock it up. But the concept remains. All you did is you made it harder to lock a pass, but not impossible. I can tell you there are kingdoms right now building more farms so that it doesn't matter how big the radius goes, they'll have the capability to still lock in that pass down. My biggest issue with this is that it doesn't address the actual issue. For the record, I appreciate Lilith's attempts to fix a problem the community has been yelling at them for a couple of KVKs now. But my problem is their lack of ability to recognize the actual issue. The actual issue is that a city can be teleported into a place and cannot be moved out of there by anyone but the city owner or by not touching it for long enough that it disappears. The problem here remains the same. City owners will just make much more cities and lock it up. The problem is the mechanic of city placements and how it's treated in terms of a war situation. So let me give you a better solution, Lilith Gaming, that will actually fix the problem. So all these farms usually tend to bubble up, get themselves a shield, and they just shield up around the pass. But shields are super expensive, and truthfully, these farms more often than not don't have that many shields. So they end up staying out there in the open. Why not create a system in which a city that's been burned 5 times in a row gets instantly random teleported into a safe zone? When you do that, you're essentially guaranteeing that at some point or another, one of these farms will be unshielded. In that case, they are in empty territory, and therefore they should be able to be hit. Now the problem here is, again, they're in empty territory. It's fair play. They're not under their own alliance's flag, right? So I can take out a City Hall 16 that has 2 million power with 1 rally, empty and zero it out, and then 4 other people hit. That thing is teleported out and you're done. The problem is that Lilith are not understanding the actual issue. The issue is that the mechanics of placing cities in a certain location don't allow in a war situation for your opposition to get rid of you. And so there is a counter argument to all this, which would be, but if I want to zero a player that requires more than 5 burns, I'll never manage to zero them because they'll burn 5 times and get teleported backwards. Okay. So let's say you have to zero the city. So the city has to have 0 active troops and only then 5 burns and it gets randomly teleported into a safe zone. You fix the issue. You actually address the issue. The issue is not the radius of the pass. All you did is you made it harder to do this, but it's still 100% doable. The issue is the way cities are placed on a map, period. If you guys want to fix this, listen Once a city has 0 active troops, it gets burned 5 times, out. So yes, cities with tons of resources will not be able to be plundered. I'll make another argument for that. A city with 0 troops and 0 plunderable resources gets teleported backwards. And you fix the issue. This is not fixing the issue because it's not addressing the actual issue. It's addressing a side effect of the issue. The issue is placement of cities on a map. The side effect is the ability to lock up a pass with the placement of your city. And so I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the effort, but it's not a solution. It's a band-aid, and it's a band-aid that's gonna come off real quick. What do you guys think about this? Let me comment down below. Let me know what you think about my solution as well. Let me know what you think in general about this update, as well as if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, or anything along the way, let me know in the comments down below. I'm Gekko. I'm out of here. Thank you guys very much for watching this video. Drop a like on it before you leave. Subscribe to the channel. Join the Discord. Link in the description down below. I appreciate all of you for the insane support lately. Thank you very much for helping me make my dream come true, and I'll see you sooner rather than later. Take care. Peace.